So I'm Mel Purcell. I'm a STEM teacher at Horizon Community Middle School in Aurora, Colorado. I have a class called Samsung Challenge class, and they started out as my students when they were in 7th grade. And we created a biomedical engineering class where they designed different items on a computer-aided software design program called SolidWorks, where they're just being introduced. And being that biomedical engineering is the new up-and-coming type of engineering field, I think it's truly important that you start that spark really when the kids are younger. One of the students I had last year had an uncle who had just come home from Afghanistan, and he had lost a limb. And he said, well, why don't we make a leg for my uncle? And a lot of the kids were like, yeah, let's do it. And so we started designing it last spring. And school ended, he moved out of state. And this fall, I saw an email that said, Samsung Solve for Tomorrow. I got an invitation to apply. So, I wrote up the original application, and I sent it off, and I found out that we were a top 5 in the state of Colorado. And so I had to write a more in-depth scope and sequence lesson plan as to how this was going to evolve. And I sent that off to Samsung, and then we found out in December that we had won the state of Colorado. And at that point in time, we won a video camera and a computer. So we made the video, and we sent that in, and we found out we were top 15 national finalists, and we were going to New York to present it in front of a panel of judges. And so it started out as a class, but the kids wanted to help people, and then we found Kyle, which is this particular really amazing man who was a Marine machine gunner in the Gulf War. They got to meet him, they talked to him, and I wish you could see their faces when they were talking to Kyle, because you think of middle school students as not having a care in the world and not being on the same level, but when you saw them asking questions and truly seeing all of the problems he has, it broke my heart. At the same time, it gave me such a sense of accomplishment, because these kids care. So it was a truly amazing process from start to finish. And when we found out that we were in the top 15 and we were waiting the time frame, that 6 weeks we were trying to find out if we'd won, the whole thing. And then I got a phone call from Ann Wu from the Global Citizenship. She's in charge of Global Citizenship for Samsung, asking us, or not asking us, but basically saying, so President Obama's senior staff saw your video and has invited you to the National Science Fair. Would you like to go? And I told the kids about it. They just cried. They were terrified, but then super excited all at the same time. And that's like a once in a lifetime thing. Truly. And so they went there and they did a great job, and I'm very proud of them.
Okay, so to win this challenge was just amazing. When we entered the competition, I didn't really think much of it. I was like, okay, maybe they'll look at it, they'll think it's cool, and then give us a participation ribbon. I never thought that we were going to make it as far as we did.
Miss Purcell was the one that kind of gave us hope, and she's a very positive person that brings a lot of positivity to this room. And she's the one who actually made me believe that we can take this as far as we can.
It's awesome. I can't even describe it. The fact that we made it this far through all this hard work, it just feels like it's paid off.
My favorite part about being involved in this project is that you get to find a problem, which was Kyle not having a prosthetic that fits him and it's too uncomfortable for him to even walk, and for us to find a solution to help him.
My favorite part of this project has definitely been helping Kyle, hands down, just being able to, because engineering isn't very personable, but doing this project has made it a very personal thing. We've been able to help a specific person. We've been able to see what we're doing impact one person's life and see it make it for the better.
My favorite part is working with my friends and designing stuff and actually helping. Kyle Kelly, the veteran, we're helping. And it's really fun to work on projects, design, and build stuff in this class.
My favorite part about this project is just having to be able to work with friends and actually doing what you like to do. And Miss Purcell, she chose the people. It wasn't just a random pick out of a hat or something like that. So it's honorable and honoring that she actually picked us to be in this program.
Okay, so with the new money for our classroom, we'll definitely be able to upgrade our computers, which are really slow right now. We'll also be able to get bigger printers to help print more prosthetics so that we'll be able to further our project and possibly go nationwide sometime. Being in Washington, D.C. was so surreal. Honestly, when I was standing in the White House, I didn't know if I was dreaming or not. I was really nervous, but once he actually walked in the room, I went with it. I did my project, I told him everything I had said to everybody else before, and I just completely forgot that he was the president. I just kept going.
At first, I was scared. I was scared out of my mind. I honestly didn't believe I was in the White House or there at all until I shook his hand and he talked to me. That was when my eyes opened and I was just ready. I was like, okay, I'm ready for this. And it's very cool. Obama's very nice. He's really cool with kids and he's very funny. I actually explained some of the different foot prototypes for the prosthetic we made and how making the foot was a challenging part of the prosthetic because of how it's made.
I was very, very nervous even before he walked in the room. And then when he finally walked in the room, we had to present our project to him. Something about him was just so calm. It just made me calm down and just focus on the project.
The president's reaction to our project was actually pretty, he was pretty surprised and he was very proud of us. He said that what we were doing was really helpful, and he said that, and he asked us about how Kyle was feeling, and Kyle was definitely improving as we went further through the process. We kept asking him about his prosthetic, and he seemed to get more excited each time we talked to him.
I actually want to be an engineer when I grow up. I want to go to a college that's mostly based on STEM and project-based classes. So I'm looking into engineering so that I can be a successful engineer or a designer.
Just made me want to work harder and do better in school. One of the jobs I want to do is to be an engineer.
I actually want to be a vet, but now that I have a second passion about engineering and STEM, I actually want to put those two together by helping war dogs or maybe marine life with giving dogs maybe some prosthetic for missing limbs they have.
I've always wanted to go into the medical field. I wasn't ever quite sure where, surgery, maybe anesthesiology, but this has definitely helped me pinpoint it. I definitely want to go into engineering and the medical field, so I'm definitely looking more towards biomedical engineering, so doing something similar to this, doing prosthetics, hip replacements, knee replacements, stuff like that.
This has helped me learn that if you put enough research and hard work into it, and determination into whatever you're studying or your goals in life, that you can achieve it.